हितकारी सुन लीजिए प्रभु अरज
Thank you so much for being here today. It's such an honor among with you. I truly appreciate your presence this evening. We all are connected with one divine source. There never was a time that the science of spirituality did not exist. There neither would be a time in the future that it would cease to exist either. This is the science which has always been eternal and will be, and that is the essence of Sanatana Dharma. Well, the primary reason for Yoga Sutras, beginning with the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, begins with quietude of quietude of our vrittiyam. What is that vrittiyam? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. If you look at the very first essence of what is being talked about here is as much relevant today, my dear friends present here, is as much relevant as it was written down about 8,000 years ago. And what was the religion 8,000 years ago? May I know from you? Christianity came about 3,500 years. The very preaching of Bhagavad Gita happened 5,003 years ago. What was religion then? The Yoga Sutras came before that. So it has to do with the human consciousness. Before the first ever inception of humankind was the existence of the realm that weaved through the pearl what we know as consciousness. There was only a nectar. And the source of yoga is about to take you back to the same route. It is not something that is something new. If you are expecting something will pop up today out of this conversation, nothing. Because it has always been into existence. What will come out of it? Because there is no birth, there is no death. But the only one who will work on the very first essence of yoga, yoga chitta vritti nirodha, will actually come closer to know a tiny aspect of what yoga is all about. So how many of you today is here to learn the very first step of yoga? Our master, the photograph that you see, he went into deep meditation for about 17 long years. And without having had any formal education, he penned down the scriptures based on his spiritual experiences. The knowledge and wisdom trickled down from the zone divine, and he percolated what he had received in the most simplest form and made an epic book called Svarved, which is such simplified version of Vedas, written in Hindi Pandulipi, which is accessible to all. And Sadhudev says, Yoga yoga sab koi kahe, yoga na jana koi, ardhadhara urad chale, yoga kave soy. Which is actually very similar to what the very first work of yoga is. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. And what are these vrittiyas? The dispositions. So they says, yoga sab koi. Everyone talks about the yoga today. And whenever I talk about yoga, what is the first mental picture that comes up in your mind? May I know from any one of you out here? What is the first picture in your mind that pops up when the name yogi is uttered? A person in a physical posture. Mm-hmm. Now mic is on.
A person meditating.
So the person who is meditating is doing yoga? Mm-hmm. Right. That's one definition of it. Suppose that if there is a party today after this event, we all got together, all right? Just imagine a situation. I'll give you one situation right here, which you can relate to right now, all right? So who is really dressed up really well today? Okay, someone from here. Maybe Shri Dr. Ahirji from Greytown may have a round of applause for his presence here today. Such an honor to have you as well. So let's say there's an event, because I'm coming to your question, the meditation and yoga part. It is very related to that. And after this event, there's a party. Let's say that, okay? We all come together, and a few of us are just engaging themselves into some very lively conversation. And something happened, something untoward, unexpected happened. Me as a yoga teacher, let's say that, I'm a yoga guy, I'm into meditation, and Sri Ahirji is totally dressed up, and he also happens to be in the same area as me. And something happened, but I became reactionary. Whereas Shri Ahirji from Greytown was stoic, unruffled, undisturbed by what has happened. He's more responsive than reactive. So being me being in meditation has not helped me in this attire, let's say that, than the person sitting next to me in the party, let's say that. So here the quietude of emotion has worked despite how you dress up, how you orient yourself. So yoga in here talks about being a state of absolute, not tranquility, but equipoise. Being equipoised under all compelling circumstances, where you are more receptive to know the life energies in subtle way, than being reactionary by the outside effect. No provocation can invoke me to react the way the situation is. Here I am in control. I am established in yoga. So this is what is happening right now. So if you happen to see a person having his legs up, you'll call him a yogi. But you can perform yoga by how you conduct yourself with that poise, with that grace, with that composure at all times. That's why yoga is not religious, people say. It's a spiritual. But it has rituals in spirituality, because the word spiritual cannot be made without ritual. So it has what? Yoga चित्त वृत्ति निरोध वृत्तियां, जिसकी वृत्तियां शांत है वही योग में स्थापित है, ऐसा मान लेते हैं. It's like that. The one who is emotions totally centered within, operates without being provoked in a way that is most sublime to his nature, most sublime to his consciousness, is established in yoga. And this is where we come from. This is where Sadafal Devji Maharaj comes from. It is not only in the words, but in the very orientation of your life, in whatever you deal with. So we will do the same sadhana that will poise, that will orient you towards the same path of absolute quietude among massive chaos. So there was some questions, please go ahead, sir. Because I don't just want to make it monotonous, like when I speak and you do not have your participation, you tend to get bored. So you should have an opportunity to ask some questions. Please go ahead. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Guruji, and thank you to the Sadafal Foundation. I'm just going through this pamphlet of yours, and I see there's 5 stages of Vyangam Yoga. Could you explain those stages to myself and the community at large. Thank you.
Panchachiti Naam Yoga. It has come in Vedas. In Greek Veda, the first scripture ever to be born out of consciousness is the Rig Veda. So there are 5 stages of yoga actually. The first one begins with your body. It's quite a long talk though. If I were to ask you, where is your mind? What would you say? Do you know where your mind is? None of us. Let me first complete this question, then may I? I'm very sorry. Is it like that, right? It will be such a dishonor to the gentleman who asked the question, right? Thank you very much. So where is your mind? Mind is not known. It will never be known. It will be yourself to you forever. But there is one thing that can be done. That to segregate mind from your body. I can tell you with great conviction that most of us follow the pattern of our body, not our mind. Mind is not seen, so whatever is not seen is blamed. Even God is to be blamed. Something goes wrong, then God is also to be blamed, right? This is how we are as a human being. We operate like that. When nothing goes wrong and nothing goes right, and we also blame everyone that we cannot see. So here what happens is, the very first stage of Ahimsa meditation is about segregating your body from your mind. Because your body, in a way, unconsciously, if you have had a life, right? If you have had a life which is unfettered, if I could say, is actually has been restrained by your whimsical attitude which you have picked up along the way, which is very destructive by nature, I'm telling you, which is very, very bad way to live. Once this disruption happens, once the body and mind is disrupted, you are better a human being because you are not following the body, the memory of the body. So what happens in the first stage of Ahimsa yoga sadhana? How you do it? You do it through power of your prana. Because prana is something that can control your thoughts and it can also calm your mind, body. That's why we do take a long breath and exhale. What we do? We actually calm our body. So it's very important to calm your body first. Then no one maybe has ever said this before to you that you have to calm your body, mind. You must have heard of all these times. I mean, I'm sure that you only have heard about controlling your mind. But you know, my dear friends, you also need to control your body first. It has to begin with your body. Because you're not just one mana, mind. You're also ahankara. You're also, there are 4 antahkarans as we speak. Buddhi also, chitta also, ahankara also. They are not talked about. Why are they not talked about? Why? We talk about mind all the time. And they are stored here in the body. And the body has become so rigid. And body does not lie. You can manipulate your mind and behave just the opposite of what you are thinking. And you could be just anyone could be very manipulative, not to say what he thinks or does. But your body will not lie. So if you can create this distinction, you can create a gap between body and mind, you will be a better person. You will be more evolved as a human being. So the first stage of Ahimsa yoga is to stop your mind at a certain place. And that has to do with your breathing. And the second stage is the one place, it is very common, where your mind is purified, because mind cannot be controlled. The people who can control the mind must be great yogis. No human being can control his mind. It's not possible. It's not humanly possible to control your mind. You can dissolve into everything in this. I can dissolve myself. I can become so subtle that I can dissolve into every existence of this universe. Because the mind has the origin of Akshar Brahma. It has come from there. So unless it goes back to the same root, you cannot control your mind with the attachment of 5 senses and the 5 organs. There are 10 organs which we operate from on daily basis, yes? And we cannot stop that. We can only dissolve it through sadhana, which is not possible, which is not humanly possible. So what we do is second Bhumima sadhana, we purify our mind so that you are really creative. The second stage of Vihangam Yoga is a zone of creativity. You can become highly creative. But for that, let's take an example. I do not have to prepare a speech before coming here. I can be so subtle, I can imbibe the energies from you and speak spontaneously with absolute control over my words. I do not have to kind of study and go through books. Here, your knowledge takes a back seat, your awareness expands, and in that expansion of awareness, if you operate, you will do great in life. You are bound to be genius if you operate from the expansion of your awareness, then your knowledge. Whatever you have learned from the books, if you operate from there, it will be all about rattling of the facts that you have learned, but that is not genuine. That is not the true science. It may be very misleading. I could be learned person, highly sophisticated one, but totally misleading as a human being. But if you govern yourself from that expansion of awareness, where your knowledge is subsided, I'm sorry to use this word, your knowledge is subsided. Your knowledge does not provoke you, oh I know this, I will say this, all that, no. You are shant. Om Shanti. So if you operate from that level, you are truly genius. All people who have done something really extraordinary in their lives, somewhere they have gone beyond their emotions, for sure, I can tell you, with my personal experience. And this is what exactly happens in second stage of Vihangam Yoga, because everything's takes a back seat. And in fact, it is a place what I call, is quite a long one actually. You know, we have these two nostrils. This one is, the right one is Surya Nadi, and this one is Chandra Nadi, the left one. There is something called Ingala and Pingala. Have you heard of it? And there is something called Sushmana. Have you heard of Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati in Prayagraj, Allahabad, where people go and take a dip, holy dip? So if I committed a crime and decides to go and take a dip, do you think I will be cleansed of all my crimes? Very good. So if here, the illusion is the biggest criminal. The veil of ignorance is the biggest criminal here. So with the synchronization of the Ingala and Pingala, once the third eye is activated, the Gyan, the Saraswati comes in. And that's when you are able to see the clear picture of everything, whatever there is, as is, as is, as is. That's the reason why people are so creative in the second stage of Vihangam Yoga. But it is there theoretically, but practically speaking, I'm not sure how many of you and us, all of us could ever reach there, but it is there. And the third stage of Yangam Yoga is about transcending the Prakriti. Prakriti ke upar chale jana. When the very moorings of the Prakriti you leave aside and you go beyond that, that's when you are able to dissolve yourself into the higher consciousness. That's when your mind is dissolved. That's when you leave the platform of Prakriti, this Maya. And the fourth stage is once, it's just very nutshell, I'm just telling everything in very nutshell. And the fourth stage is when you have the self-realization. You know self-realization? When you know yourself. And then the fifth stage is God realization, because you cannot know the Almighty without knowing the I self. That's the first, that is the condition. It's a prerequisite to know yourself first. And there is a very thin line when the very notion, the very bhava of Aham Brahmasmi comes up, that I am the Brahma. But the Jeev never becomes Brahma. It's not possible. It's just like a piece of iron, when it glows and becomes red hot, it attains the properties of the same, but it does not become the fire itself. If it is segregated, put aside, it again comes back to normal. So that's when you need the master to take you through the process and take you to the zone divine, the ultimate one. So these are the 5 stages of being a very, very nutshell. Yes, may I have, ma'am, your question, please? My apologies.
My question is, if your body is more, picking up more weight, then you can't like overweight and you can't overlose weight. That's my question. So you know you can't overlose weight and then you start getting sick, then you start getting pressure, then you start getting sugar and all of it. That's what I want to know from you. I want to learn from you how to start to end up getting better.
No, I appreciate your question. So you are saying that your body prohibits you to do meditation. It does not allow you to go beyond a certain point because of your physical body. This is a crust of your question, is it right? But the awareness that you have about yourself, your own body, is quite praiseworthy. I truly appreciate that you have that level of awareness about your body, and you do not have this inhibition. A lot of people will be prohibited, like they will feel shy asking this, coming forward. Now you came forward and asked this question. I think you should be truly applauded. And the reason why I'm saying is, you do not have inhibitions. So I may be totally fit, but I may not ask question because I may feel shy. But you are not. So is it possible for you to take a note of all the things that you should be grateful for in your life? Every day, in the morning? Alright. You can begin doing that. Is it possible? Is it a genetic one that you cannot do anything about? Or is there a possibility that you can do something about it? Is it genetically like that? By birth? Okay, so if it is not, then what are the things that I can do today in order to make headway towards it? What is it actually? So if you could write it down, 3 or 4 days, 3 or 4 things every single day, that will help you understand things better. And with sadhana, it will motivate you. If you could learn the sadhana dhyan that we are going to learn today, it will happen gradually, but it can happen. Nothing is impossible. Because there are people who have given up alcohol, and after meditation, after once they have been initiated into first stage of being a yoga, they have given up alcohol and other substances. So it could be possible, but having said so, it's very important that you appreciate what you are capable of every single day and feel good about yourself, no matter how you feel about it, because no matter what people say, but how you feel about yourself is very important. So you came forward, you came to the session today and asked this question, shows that there is a positive sign from your end to take a step ahead. And I think if you come out of it more often, I think you will certainly find a way out of this. All you need to do is to have faith in it and keep going ahead and just shut off all the inhibitions about everything and be as candid about your problem as possible, unhindered. It will certainly help you. A strong mind can actually take care of a lot of things. So thanks for being such a strong-minded person. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. We have one more question here.
Thank you. Shri Naam ji, my question is, in this world of information overload, there's AI, there's ChatGPT, and it's not only for youth. All of us at every age group are affected by it. It's useful, and then if it has advantages, definitely it has disadvantages as well. And especially for the youth who are at that stage of their life when there's a lot of confusion and there's so much of information. We hear about followers, we are followed by some people, we are following some people. How do we maintain that originality and uniqueness in us? Because there's so much going on around us. And information which was a bit difficult to achieve in few years ago, now everything is in front of our eyes. So how do we maintain me-ness or uniqueness? That's my question. Thank you.
The best thing ever that could have happened to us is AI, I think, till now. This is the best thing ever that has happened to us. And the reason is, it is extending us. It is pushing us to our limits. And that's the best thing ever. Because you have been exposed to everything in abundance, in plethora. The problem here is, okay, let's take example of 6-year-old student. Now, just about 10 years ago, or 15 years ago, if the boy, let's say that, if that student were to rattle off the names of 16 capital city of the world, people would appreciate that. Oh wow, you know it, it's amazing. Now, in this age and time, with absolute rapid advancement in technology, we may not appreciate that much, isn't it? Or what would you know where Cairo is, and what the capital city of Egypt is? You hardly want to know anything. But that's not the question. You have all the information, you have all the knowledge with you, but have you become more calm with yourself? Have we become more wise with technology? Don't you think that technology is becoming way smarter than us? Do you know the percentage of your iPhone? The percentage of your iPhone as per its IQ is more than 85% of what we, as an average IQ person, ever use. So 80% of the iPhone IQ is not even compatible to our level of thinking. Can you imagine that? So it means that we are 80% dumber than iPhone. It's ironical. I know it's a crazy world, and you know what? It's going to increase day by day. We are becoming dumber with the use of smartphones. Just because we can tap and access any information at any point in time about everything in the world. That's crazy. But at the same time, it's an absolute empowerment, isn't it? I just want to ask you, isn't it an absolute advancement, an opportunity for us at the same time? We do know that the knowledge after a certain limit has no value, has actually no value at all. That's when the spontaneity comes into play. That's when the originality comes into play. So I think we are pushed towards a human renaissance, if I could say, after a certain period of time. After certain evolution as human consciousness, we will be relying solely on ourselves. And this is where we are going towards, to realize where we came from. And that will be appreciated only after the phase that we are transiting through, so that we have everything in excess. Now the relationships is also on sale. Everything is on sale. Human emotions are faked. They are also on sale. There are so many things that are happening around the world. Go to maybe Korea side or Japan, just see there's so many different kind of things. You can go to some Latin countries as well to explore the whole world. What the perspectives are today with the changing rapid economical landscapes and with the infusion of technology. It's mind-blowing. But what I'm trying to tell you here is, how wiser are we becoming? I know it's dangerous, but at the same time it's truly empowerment. And how would you appreciate what thrives within if you have not passed through the phases of its absolute advancement? So once it reaches to a certain level of perfection or more perfection, that people realize that we have had enough of it. We have known everything. After having had everything, we are still restless. But there's one question that I would like to ask you. Those people who are creating this mind-blowing, this most sophisticated piece of technology, have we ever absorbed their life? I would like to ask you this question. Do they use WhatsApp? Do they use Facebook? 99% of them, they don't have any social media accounts, but they manufacture them. And this answers your question, and this answers all of us questions. For them, it's a marketplace. So either you become prey, or you become a hunter. Which one do you want to be? To be hunted down? And they are doing everything possible. If you think you are safe, you are not. You are using your phone. I must tell you, everything is exposed about you. You travel, you have a flight ticket. Now it's 7:30 in the morning. The flight for 5:30, because by the time Google Map has already gauged through your traffic situation, Google will give you, get up. Now there's a traffic. He knows where you're traveling to. Your life is on sale for sure. And now he knows the credit card, debit card that you have used. How many times do you have traveled across the globe because you have been to VFS office? I'm sorry, I'm now exposed, like it's not good to tell the name, but they know everything. And who are those people behind those? Do you know them? Do they use phone? They know everything about you. So there are people in the world who want to take control of the world as they have. And we have been enslaved by the technology. I do admit this one. When I happen to meet my friends or in a family member in a family setup, I do discuss it more openly. But I cannot discuss with all the names who are those people on the top. They don't live in Asia or Africa. They live in some other country in the world. They have pockets of people. They govern the whole world. I think it has always been like that, and it will be like that. But if you look at their lives, it's very different. They do not go on vacation. For their sense of enjoyment is totally different from ours. What you see on television screen and what is shown to you is totally different from what actually the whole spectrum of dimension in which they live their daily lives. Few of them go on extreme places where they are devoid of everything. So the people, they are not pleasure seekers. Few are very elevated souls as well in this world, and they are at the top of the game. So not everyone is evil. There are some great people as well. And because of the greatness of people, we are here all right. We are not being exposed. But you know why? Because everyone, including everyone, our life is on sale. If you are using WhatsApp, if you have an iPhone, or whatever phone that you have, your life is on sale for sure. Because there's someone who is seeing you, watching you. If you talk to a friend of yours about, let's say, a car, and after a few minutes, you open YouTube, the car ad will come. Who sends you? So, and if you have saved your car, I mean to say that the technology is rapid, it's great, but the whole idea is we are not becoming smarter, we are becoming dumber. That's the problem. We are not becoming spontaneous, we are not becoming creative. The mobile phone is. The ruler of Dubai does not have iPhone, he has Nokia phone. And he can, you know what, his what? I mean, I shouldn't be talking about here in this hall, but he can buy almost 50% share of Apple today. So the wealth. So it's a crazy world that we live in. It's all good that we are being pushed to our limits. I think that's when we will realize who we actually are and what we should be doing. So at the convenience comes the responsibility, which we are negating. But once we realize what we are negating, we will end up becoming more conscious. So becoming more conscious is the only solution. To become more conscious, self-awareness, that comes from observing yourself. That comes from, again, yoga, meditation. So you have to go back to the roots and see how you are operating. And as you do that, as you start operating yourself without being influenced by things around you, you will become a better version of yourself. And you will use technology, not other way around. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have a last question here after that.
Yes, Shri, Naam those 5 stages of the Vihango Yoga are very interesting from the way you explain it, where that first stage actually teaches you a technique of controlling the body first before you can even think of that elusive mind. But if you look at Western psychology and the way we taught about the mind in textbooks, we are told that there's the conscious mind, the thinking mind, and as you think things through, it gets embedded in the subconscious mind, which is the mind that accepts things. And that becomes the power that then drives the conscious. And then that's why we act the way we do. But you are saying that if you follow these 5 stages of the Vihango Yoga, at say stage 3 of the yoga, you are now saying that the consciousness then dissolves, and then you move on to the 4th and 5th of the self-realization and then the God realization. So I understand that, but I'm saying that at that third stage, if you follow these 5 stages, is that the stage where the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is the mind that you're talking about that needs to dissolve, so that you have purity of thought and purity of action, and in that way you get some sort of control that we're trying to achieve.
The thoughts are not important here, and the third stage of Bhingam Yoga. In the first stage of Bhingam Yoga, because we are overwhelmed by the thoughts, there are about 60,000 thoughts a day that cross a human mind every single day. And most of those thoughts are similar, exactly the same as the previous day. Therefore, we happen to behave exactly the same way. We conduct ourselves in the same way because the thoughts have been following us. We are not following the thoughts. Thoughts are not following us. Based on the unconscious gathering of information through all 5 senses. So the first stage is about realizing that this body can be calibrated harmoniously with your mind. It means that there could be a friendship between body and mind. As of now, there is no friendship. Body is going the other way, mind is going the other way. And there is a heap of chaos within this piece of body. So anxiety, and because we're not clear, there is a sense of the cloud that we're passing through. So what happens is, once our awareness expands, the thought subsides. And that awareness actually expands only once our senses are subsided or shrink. So it actually begins with the body. Yoga begins with the body only at the very first stage. Because all your memories are stored in chitta, and the cellular memory which is in the body have to be synchronized properly for the welfare of your mental well-being, and which also happens to be the symptom in your body, because if you're mentally not well, it starts giving you symptom physically after some time. So that's the first one. Coming back to your question, and that is in the third stage, the Kundalini Jagran, the awakening of Kundalini happens. So in that, unless you reach to that level, thoughts will be there, because you're talking about your DNA here, because you are going to dissolve all the coding of your genetic disposition. It is not humanly possible to clear off all the genetic disposition. Not possible at all. There has to be some divine intervention. Only after that you can have the self-realization. So Atma is not the memory, is not the mind. Before that it has to be cleared off. Before the self-realization, the Kundalini first has to happen. The awakening of Kundalini has to happen. And that's the biggest thing, because here you are kind of decoding yourself and taking a download from the universal consciousness. Now there is a download. It's not easy to have the download because there is a clutter already. The clutter has to go off. You have to cleanse off all the clutter. And that is a genetic disposition. That's when you see a yogi, Himalayan yogi, sitting in Himalaya for 700 years, right? Without food, without anything. How they're surviving? They have let go of all the body, all the memories of the body, and they have dissolved themselves into everything, in Panch Tattva, in all 5 elements. They are water, they are earth, they are air, they are into everything. They are Akash, they are everything. They can expand themselves. Unless one reaches to that stage, the thoughts will be there. Till the third stage of Bhingam Yoga. Only then you can transcend your thoughts, because thoughts and minds are intertwined. And according to Bhingam Yoga, Akshara Brahma is the origin of mind, Mana, from where the creation has happened. And beyond that creation is of course, the zone of Almighty. And it has come into the, have you heard of Big Bang Theory? Big Bang Theory, right? You know that? So let's say Akshar Brahm is a kind of Big Bang theoretical. You can just draw an analogy between Big Bang theory and there is a vibration that burst, and because of which what we see the creation of the universe as is, and without which there would not be any universe. So that Big Bang is actually can be analogous to the Akshar Brahma. It can be equivalent to the Akshar Brahma. So unless we reach to that stage, the mind is not going anywhere. Mind is going to be very much in the very sphere of Prakriti. With attachment of the senses, it's going to operate. So it's all talk, but the whole thing is it has come into our scriptures, and it can happen. Even few of us can reach the second stage of Vihangam Yoga. We will be really creative people. We can dissolve all issues that we have been grappling with. I can tell you one thing, that if you want to resolve the issues, the very pressing issues of your life, the day-to-day life, it is not going to go anywhere out of your life unless there is a way, unless you dissolve the within. If you are able to resolve this within, the outside world will resolve itself. So that happens in second stage of Vihangam Yoga. Once you are able to dissolve your illusion, the situation outside will automatically resolve. So even if you are able to reach the second stage of Vihangam Yoga, and what it can render to you, you will be leading a more clutter-free life. There will not be any illusion. You will be more evolved as a human being for sure. But you will have thoughts, but they won't rule you. As of now, we are bombarded with thoughts. As I speak to you, you are thinking about something, aren't you? And as I speak to you, you are interpreting what I'm saying in the way that you are conditioned. So everyone is in here is redefining, re-narrating things the way they have been predisposed to. There's nothing wrong in that. As I'm speaking to you, you are making sense of what I'm saying in your own unique way, as everyone else is. In second stage of Vihangam Yoga, you don't operate by your conditioned mind. I get to see things clearly as is. Once my presence is good enough to know things, I do not have to use a lot of words. Thoughts are subsided. So you have created a filter. So it is your presence, the witness you are, you become the witness. You do not participate into it. You do have a choice when you can actually participate into it, but you do not have to. Once you have that power within you, then there are so many things that can be superfluous and not needed and can be put aside. So that's the power of the mind. And it happens in sadhana. It happens in Vihangam Yoga sadhana. So I think I've taken a lot of time of yours. I think I've exceeded about 20 minutes or so. Have I? Maybe Amity will let me know better. So I do appreciate the presence of the Indian High Commission, Shri Manoj Kumar Bharti ji. My friend from Greytown, whom I met in 2013 in Mahakumbh, and he asked for a pida. Do you know pida? How many of you know Bhojpuri? Pida? Pida. And he was asking for pida. So I was just there and got him. And can we have a round of applause from him once again, please? Such a wonderful person. I keep traveling across the globe, but rarely I meet such a gem of human being that Dr. D.R. Ahir is. Thank you very much for your presence here. Also, Shamin Thakurji, if he's here, thank you very much. Sri Kamal Maharaj, Sri Ram Maharaj ji, whom I've been talking to, Sri Dr. Ajesh Maharaj ji, and Sri, my friend Sri Rahul Kaushik ji. A round of applause for Rahul Kaushik ji. Thank you so much for being here today. And Anushka is here. I met her a couple of times ago. And all of your presence here makes things really wonderful. So let's go into meditation here. Please go ahead.
I'm sure many of us, after the first two questions that were asked, Many had many more questions to ask, although we were a bit hesitant in the beginning. Thank you very much for that, Namdeji. We'll now move on into our meditative session. I hope many of our other questions in this session are answered through the power of your mind.
We'll do the 15 minutes of meditation. This is the last leg of the session. So just be seated. Siddhasana, I would say that you are sitting on a chair is fine. But Siddhasana, do you know Siddhasana? Siddhasana is the most ideal form of sadhana, is a posture for sadhana, in which your left leg goes down, on top of that you place your right leg. So this is the ideal way. You're sitting on a chair, is absolutely fine. You can do it at home. So this is called Siddhasana. If you do this, there are, let's say from here to the neck, there are about 5 chakras. There are people who claim to have 8 chakras. There's the first one, the Mooladhara. Mooladhara is very important. If it is not active or it's not properly positioned, it creates a lot of problem. And you think that your mind is creating problem. Mind is absolutely fine, my dear friends. You cannot see it, that's why you blame it. So my Mooladhara, let's begin with that. So if you sit in Siddhasana for about 35 minutes every day, with the proper breathing exercise, where you take 15 rounds of breath from your left nostril, this is the Chandra Nadi, and 5 from here. Only 5 and 30, 15. And then repeat again on the reverse side, every day for about 21 days at a stretch. Sitting in sadhana, you will see that you are making progress. So Mooladhara causes a lot of problem if it's not properly calibrated. So we won't do that right now, but just asking you if you could do it properly, but it has to do with your lifestyle. If you have consumed a lot of food, you cannot do sadhana, you cannot do pranayama, it is not advisable. So let's begin the first stage of the Hingam Yoga. Siddhasana is the best one. Even if you do not do sadhana, please try to sit in this abhyas every single day. It's going to change your life forever. Just sitting in this sadhana. And then your both hands on your knees, your thumb and index is joined and step very gently, like this. Your 3 fingers facing upward. Now breathe in. Just normally breathe in. Just breathe in naturally. Close your eyes. Now, the reason why you need to sit in Siddhasana, because of your navel area, the abdominal area, where there is a secretion of some chemicals which causes your emotions to go haywire. And that's the reason why you need to sit in Siddhasana and do pranayam beginning with exhalation. So you will inhale from your abdominal area, please. You breathe in from your abdominal area. And breathe out. So you breathe in from your Navi chakra. Do you know Navi chakra? Below the Navi chakra. From there, you have to breathe in and breathe out. So if your breath is connected with your Navi chakra at all times, you will be less angry, less reactive. If you are breathing from your lungs, you will be prone to more diseases, more anger, and more reactions, more drama in life. And those people who are less dramatic are connected with their abdominal area. They breathe in from here. You need to connect your breath to your abdominal area. Could you do that? If not possible, make a lifestyle in such a way that your breath is connected to your navel area. That's the center part of your body. Your emotions are subsided also. That's why you need to sit in Siddhasana. Everything is connected. So you sit in Siddhasana and breathe in from your abdominal area and breathe out. Can we do 5 times? Only if you have not consumed enough of food, so you can just breathe in and breathe out. Give more, exhaust more, exhale more. And that's the reason why we do Kapalbhati. You know what Kapalbhati is? Right? It may not be conducive for you right now, but you must practice Kapalbhati every single day. Kapalbhati is must. So you first breathe in. You begin with breathing in. Deep breathe in from your abdominal area and breathe out 5 times, 7 times. Then you begin the Kapalbhati around 15 rounds every day. Right? Then you begin the Nadi Sodhan Pranayama. Nadi Sodhan Pranayama, you know what Nadi Sodhan Pranayama is? You must have seen it. Anulom Vilom, what we call. You close one nostril. You can see me do that, or you know it already. And then close the other one. And then breathe out from the other. And you swap and switch. So you begin with the breathing exercise, normal breathing, and breathe out more. Then Kapalbhati. They have Anulom Vilom for about 5 to 12 minutes, as you like. And there is a mantra that you can chant, just recite in your mind. Please do that. Or you can just breathe in normally as you like. Whatever you feel comfortable with, you can do that. If you just want to breathe out, it's fine. So there is a pranayama mantra. Please take a deep breath and breathe out. Take a deep breath again and breathe out. Take a deep breath again. So as you breathe in, just recite this pranayama mantra and breathe out. So before the first stage of being communion, as you have learned this technique, but you may need to practice a lot. at home. There's a last leg of pranayama that you must do before meditation. That's called Brahmari. So can you please open your eyes? You all know that? You know it very well. Some of you do really well. So you close your eyes and your ears as well. And you must do this one every single day. It's very important that you do it before first stage of being in yoga. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, make a B sound. Okay? We'll do 5 rounds, okay? Let's close it. You take a deep breath from the abdominal and you say it with arm sound. Now just release your ball fingers from your eyes gradually. And put it back in your knees. So you begin with the abdominal breathing. Breathe out from your abdominal area. Then you do Kapalabhati, the second one. Third one is the Anuloma Viloma Pranayama. Fourth is the what you have just done, Brahmari one. And then you begin the meditation. So before meditation, we'll just chant Gayatri Mantra together. Take a deep breath. We'll just chant 3 times. You can just recite along with me. Tassa Just open your eyes partially, or just keep your eyes closed as you like. Just be with your breath, or if you like, open your both eyes partially and look at the tip of your nose. From where you breathe in and breathe out, just be there. You are seated, you are breathing in, breathing out, your both hands on your knees. The index and the thumb is joined as the tip gently. And you are with your breath. Your both eyes partially open and looking at the tip of your nose. All of you, please. Become the witness. Just be here, the witness, not the doer. Just don't distract yourself. Just be with your breath. If you feel uncomfortable, close your eyes for a few seconds and open again partially. Just little enough to be able to keep your gaze at the tip of your nose, simply. Just be here. The mind wanders off. Come back again. You know you're here. You come back. You are here at the tip of your nose. A chain of thought comes in, just like a breeze. Breeze passes by, you don't cling to it. A chain of thought comes by, you become present to it. You become the witness. The thoughts don't drag you, take you further, far away. You know you're here. Just being present. Just with your own presence right here. Seems frightening at times, just to be with yourself. Just with yourself seems frightening. And expects the whole world to love us. So strange. Just be with yourself. How comfortable are you with your own self? Just be here. You are the witness. Not to participate in anything. Just here, at the tip of your nose. If you feel uncomfortable, just close your eyes for a few seconds and open partially again. And look. Look at the tip of your nose. You are being blessed now with Sadhguru's divine presence here. I will just recite few dohas from Sobe. just to invoke the blessing of Sadguru. You keep meditating, keep looking at the tip of your nose. Just be here. Just for yourself only. Be with yourself a few minutes only. One eye beside, feel your eyes for something.
परम गुरु जिनया ज्ञान पसार देव सदा फलयादि में जिनया शब्द बार बार वंदन करूं सदगुरु देवा हमार यहाँ वहाँ सब ठाम में महिमा परमता परमेश्वर जीव साथ है अमित गाल गय जीव त्रिताप छूटा नहीं दिन सद गुरु प्रेम भक्ति सदगुरु करो सदगुरु अलख लखाय प्रथम मिलन गुरु माया लोक छोड़ाय कर चेतना लोक निवास सच्चिदानंद स्वरूप है मम आराध्य भक्त अनुभव बदन करो दिया ज्ञान प्रभु से प्रसाद से भूलिया सदा फल क्या करूं देव सदा फल क्या कहे परमानंद भूले हुए जग जीव को निज घर दे पहुँचाए पथ पर दर्शक विष्णुता सदगुरु देव लगी कर्म भरया कर्म वासना जल चेतना
Now you can close your eyes. You have been blessed. You all have been blessed by Sadhguru's grace in a very subtle way. Just close your eyes, take a deep breath. Just breathe normally now. Bring both of your palms together in Namaste Mudra. Rub them and place both of your palms on your closed eyes. Massage a bit, anti-clockwise. Take your both palms back as if you are raising yourself and put your hands back on your knees. And open your eyes as you please, with your face a bit left up. So this is the first stage of sadhana. It has a very subtle effect on your physiology and also psychologically.